Um,
What's up, everybody?
also,
Today is October 20th, Friday, 2023. We're going to be jumping into the 11th week of Finding Your Way with Easy Win 123. He's been doing awesome, locking in some good profits on sim only, but that's, the real money is about to come in the
yes.
next couple of weeks. So
Yes.
he's gonna jump into his recaps, and then we're gonna jump into Lasagna Cat's recaps, and then see what lessons we've learned this week. Go easy whenever you're ready. Um,
Okay. Let me just open this. Note moving averages.
Land of 10,000 Scoville says the put paycheck is awesome, and yeah, that's an awesome strategy, especially if you can make $100 to $200. Dave's a man to teach you the put paycheck and any other option strategies. So if you guys want to learn any awesome strategies where you leverage your money to make a lot of money, Dave Hahn is a man to go ask.
Leverage your money to make a lot of money. I would do that every day.
Yes, sir.
Um,
A few of the members joined some prop firms and they're loving it. It's another way to use other people's money to make some money. So I'm all for it, especially if you have a small account or if you're new to futures. I definitely that's a great way to get
Test, is this
started.
working? Can you guys hear
Yep.
me?
yes,
Yeah, we
we
got
All
hear
you
right.
you. We hear you.
Awesome. Go, go, go. I'm ready to learn.
for sure. Jump into it easy when you're ready.
Okay, perfect. So hi there, guys. This week I didn't trade much, but on the other hand, I do have 3 trades to share. The week started I've been trying exactly my pattern, going short whenever I have to, trying to follow my setup either on the 5 minute and applying it on the 1 minute. But this week I've been trying also to take trades on bigger time frame, like the 15, the 30, or sometime even the 4 hours. So I'm gonna present you the first trade that I took this week. That was on Monday. Which day was that? That was the 17. 17. That was on Tuesday, actually. Yeah, sorry, yeah. So this trade was on Tuesday. So on Monday, what happened? Yeah, I had a red day on Monday, $1,300 on Sim. And that $1,300, it's the same thing that happened on Monday that happened to me on Tuesday. So this is the 1 minute chart. I was timing it. I was watching everything that I'm supposed to watch, the RSI, the MACD, both watching. And then this is when I take my entry. So price came, touched the 666. It was bearish on the 5 minute. And then I took my entry right here. And unfortunately, that big candle stopped me out. So therefore, I had to stop out. And then that was a red, 87 to 91. I don't know if you want to say anything on this one, Semper.
Yeah, one of the biggest things that will help you or prevent you from getting in is where RSI is. RSI was on the top side, so that's bullish side. You want to be careful when entering on the top side of RSI. I would have
Okay.
waited. Like if if the RSI would have cracked the 50 right here and then came down and held it for bearish,
Yeah.
I would have tried to get in. On the 1 minute, it seems like there was RSI divergence. You could see it right there.
Yeah.
The only thing is it was still bulls in control. You can tell with the volume right here. As you can see this volume right here. You know, there was
This
like,
big green volume. Okay.
yeah. You just look at the volume. There's a little bit more buyers and sellers from right here all the way right here.
Okay. Because also what kind of convinced me was that candle, right? That big red candle challenged this one. It's on the break of the 666. So I was like, okay, here's sellers coming in. And then after that, seller was just pushing the price under the 666.
So check
So I
this
was
out.
like,
Go ahead, finish.
Yeah, so I was like, if it breaks the 10 SMA, that would be my entry to
Mhm.
take it short. But yeah, it didn't work out.
It didn't because it's a bullish engulfing. If it was a bearish engulfing, you probably would have got a better play down. See? See the
Okay.
difference? There is a bearish engulfing here. See how it's bigger than this red one?
Yeah.
So you got more play down. So the only other, like, if you enter here, you should be cautious what happens on the 666 because it might catch it. If it breaks a 666, then your next target would be the next fastest moving average. Over here, you didn't get that, so there were still bulls in control over here, and that's why it continued going up.
Yeah.
Over here, you can see it's lower high. You got a bearish engulfing. If you could have got in right here on this break of the 10 or even right here, you would have caught a little bit more play down. And it probably ended up going down over here. Down over here.
Yeah, I think it did play out after, if I'm not, I don't remember, but I think it did play out after.
Because I think I got in over here when it dumped, but it had
Uh,
broke. It was a pullback high to your 50 SMA. So it went like
Mhm.
this to the 50 SMA, and then I had got in and it went
Yeah.
down.
I mean, on these trades, I was even being patient, as you can see. Like I'm waiting for the MACD to cross, and I'm waiting for the RSI to be divergence bearish and stuff. And yeah, unfortunately, it still went against me. But like I said, these were small loss. It's not something that's damaging to my account or anything. I closed it right away. I was like, okay, maybe they're just scamming it to the upside.
And you can get stuck in those force ups, because right here it looped the 10, and it was like, it was kind of scammy, honestly. But
Yeah.
pay attention to these because all these little wicks are buy orders. There's
Mhm.
going to be a bunch of buy orders there that didn't get filled. So it's going to cause a pop. And then all these sell orders right here, if we get above that big wick right here, sellers are going to get stopped out and it's going to cause a squeeze.
Okay, but when you say these are like buy orders that didn't get filled, how do you know it's not, let's say, sell orders that didn't get filled?
Because that's where the buyers are going in because it got sucked up. So a lot of buyers put orders in right here. And it got sucked up so quick because see it got sucked up, and
Okay.
that's why you gotta watch candle development. If you guys see these candles and it gets sucked up right away, there's gonna be a bunch of buy orders right here that did not get filled, right? So it's gonna cause this. It's gonna cause a pop. It might have not caused that big of a pop, but this candle is a stop loss eater because there's a bunch of sell orders right here that didn't get filled, and they got filled, and then they got stopped out. But there was a lot more buy orders. As you can see, there's a
Yeah.
lot more wicks, the bigger wicks on the bottom side than
Oh,
there was on
okay.
the top side. Right here,
Perfect.
the bears try to push it down
Mhm.
because you can see the doji is kind of, there's more sellers on the top side. So you know that if you
Okay.
get all these buy orders, you're already expecting a pop. I wasn't expecting that big of a pop, but what I would have told myself is, okay, all these buy orders are going to now get filled, which is going to cause a little bit of pop.
Mhm.
And if we get over this wick right here, if we get like one tick above over this wick, then the shorts are going to get stopped out and it's going to cause a squeeze. Same with these two. That's why there was a two-step squeeze, because these orders got stopped out. All these sellers got stopped out, and then it caused this big green candle.
Okay. Yeah, that's a bummer. That's a bummer. And you'd still like get out of that trade as soon as, let's say, it would be
You
above
can.
this one here, not waiting for the exit, which was based on this
That's
candle.
all
This is my
preference,
exit
dude.
here. Okay.
That's all preference. You could let it play out, because yeah, you
Mhm.
could have got wicked out, you know, right here. This could have been a big red candle down.
Yeah.
So you don't know that. It's totally up to you. But just be aware that you see this candle and you see a lot of sellers right there. Be like, okay, sellers, if it crosses that, then I might think about getting out because it's gonna squeeze. And sometimes the squeeze is huge, depending on what time of day it happens. If
That
this
was early in
happened,
the morning.
and this wasn't like at opening, it was like an hour and a half, hour after open, right?
Yeah.
So there still might be a big squeeze, and it kind of, I would say that's a big squeeze.
No, yeah, exactly. That's
Um,
so 98.
but if this happened like at 11 or 12 your time, it probably wouldn't have squeezed that big, unless there's other catalysts or data.
Mhm. Okay.
Something sticks out to me. Or do you guys have more to talk about on the price
Yeah,
action?
go for it.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. So here comes some nasty looking drawings, you guys. So
Mhm.
so Easy's 50 SMA right here.
Yeah.
So what I'm noticing is like that is like very far away from the 10. And it's also very close to the 100 here. So it's like I remember when I was learning how to do my long plays, it was sort of the opposite of this, but in the short direction, it's like this 50 is still traveling bullish too much, like for the entry, and but which is good because it's coming in close to the 10, which is something that you need. And then you're getting the good spread between the 50 and the 100, you know, which is going to give you some nice distance. And then I think the idea is to watch it get a little bit tighter, as it goes, and just to watch those moving averages, because like the main thing is that this one is the 50 is still in like the bullish direction. Great photo. um but yeah, that's what I noticed. You want your 50 to be like, coming up here
Closer to the 10.
closer to the 10.
Or
Yeah.
closer to price action, because look at, there's no way that it might make it down this way. There is,
Mhm.
but the odds are less.
Yeah.
But
But
look
I
at
was
over here.
expecting exactly for it to drop, and then I would have covered when it reached the 50. That's why I was trying to get in so early versus the second trade where exactly it's getting closer to it. Then I would have tried to anticipate a cross of the 10 to the 50.
Mhm. Just be careful, because it's a lot harder for price action to go to a level the further it is from it.
Okay.
The closer, look at
Alright.
the closer it got to the 50, and then look at it started breaking through the 50,
Yeah.
the 50, and then it broke the 50. Because it's easier for the algos to push price action through the moving average when they're closer, when the price action is closer to that moving average. Like right here, you could have got in for a plate down to the 50. With your lower
Yeah.
high off the 10 SMA right here,
Mhm.
and then played it to the 50. The only bad thing is you got 666 support right there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But
Thanks
it
for
did pay
bringing
off.
that up.
All right. Okay. So that was the first two trades that I took on Monday. And then also on Monday and Tuesday, things that happen is that I know I'm supposed, not to overtrade. So I'm taking like 3 to 4 trades stop. Then my first trade is a red. My second trade is a red. So by the third trade, I'm really thinking it and overthinking it. Like, do I need to take a third trade? Because I'm just chipping away from my PNL. That's what's happening. So as the day is going by, even though I see my setup, I'm hesitating on taking it because after 2 loss, then I'm just starting to not panic, but yeah, fear is starting to get into me, I guess.
And that is one of the biggest reasons why I have a rule. If I have 2 back-to-back red trades, I'm done for the day. Because my mind is not straight. If my mind was straight, I would have at least took the second one green. If you got 2 reds, you're gonna get into a predicament where you're revenge trading, and you don't want to be in that mode. If you get into revenge trading mode, it's just gonna get worse.
Okay.
It's not
So
gonna
two
be
back to
better.
back, you shut it
That's
off.
my personal rule. You can
Mhm.
make whatever rule you want, but that's what I recommend, especially if you're new. I
Yeah.
recommend that, hey, take it slow. If you got two back-to-back reds, call it a day. Take screenshots, reevaluate what
Yeah.
you did wrong, what you could have done better, and how you would do better the next time. Will you be more patient? Will you wait for a moving average to set up? Will you wait for RSI to set up? Will you wait for MACD and other indicators to help you make that decision?
Okay. Perfect. That's good.
I use a dollar amount.
You can use a dollar amount as well.
Yeah, if I lose 200, even though I'm playing the paper, right? If I go, because I'm trying to pretend like it's my real money. So if I'm down, if I get down like 500, I'm done. Um, but even if I take 3 trades, because if you want to see my screens later, so I got down, and then I come back. Like I can make I'll increase the contract numbers, and I see a good setup, and I play it. And it's more just to practice to see if my strategies are working, right? That's what I'm trying to develop right now, is a consistent strategy that will work. And then when I'm down, I try and even when I'm up, for me, even when I'm up, because that's like, we all have the habit of tendency to get greedy. So like, oh, look at me, I made a great, I'm up $500. Okay, well, I want to be up 1,000. And so I put both limits, downs and lows, but I put it on a number rather than the number of trades.
Yep.
Okay.
I have a daily
That's
goal.
good.
So I use that once I hit my daily goal or once I hit my max trades. Those are my two limits. If I hit my max trades, which is usually 5, the last 3 months I haven't even came close to 5 trades. I usually trade 4 max. So if I have 4 max and I haven't hit my daily goal, I'm done for the day. If I hit my daily goal, I'm done for the day. If I get two reds, I'm done for the day. Or if I hit my max trade loss,
Done for the day.
I'm done. You just gotta call it. You just gotta reset, go do something, go play Mortal Kombat or video games or whatever.
Start working.
Yep. But don't just do that. You wanna freaking take a picture
Yeah.
or write down like, hey, I took this trade because I was FOMOing. I write down your emotions. How'd you feel? Like I felt super excited. I felt impatient. And then you'll start to put those emotions in check, or at least help you put those emotions in check.
Okay. All right. Well, then that's something I think I'm gonna do this week. Like, because so far I haven't really limited myself to, let's say, a maximum of loss, not maximum of trades, but maximum of loss. Just because I know that I'm in sim trading, and then I know like the more practice, it helped me see more trades. And now I do feel that I'm confident enough, So if I get 2 red trades in a row, yeah, I think I'll call it just to see at the same time, just to see how I feel and then what's happening.
Exactly. You could always make that money back the next day.
Correct.
But if you take another red trade, it's gonna make it that much harder to make it back.
Yeah.
Like I think Lasagna Cat, he goes into NinjaTrader platform, and you can set a daily stop loss right there.
Yeah,
where if
absolutely.
you lose that much, it locks you out. It won't let you trade.
Absolutely.
Oh, really? You can do that? I need
Yeah,
that.
man. I recommend it. It's good.
Where is it at? Just in the tools in the workspace?
No, it's on the desktop platform. I forget. It's like when you go to desktop platform, there is let me pick it up here. Maybe I can do like a little screenshot or at least find out where it goes. There's some documentation about it. Oh, I'm still in my annotating mode.
What's the name of it again? Is it just a daily stop loss, or what, daily loss, daily negative P&L?
Yeah, something like that. Let me see here.
To into your
Yeah, my
account.
screen's all screwed up. There we go. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna look at NinjaTrader right now. Daily loss limit. There's some documentation that I might be able to put in the chat actually. But yeah, so it's you go to NinjaTrader risk settings. It's going to be in your account profile, and there's a little
Yeah.
blue box that says risk settings. So you just
risk
go in there. Yeah, it's really easy to follow. It's good. It's helped me out. You know, it after a while it becomes less likely that you'll go on tilt, but sometimes you do, or sometimes you get that big red candle that fucks you up and makes you angry. So it's just like, you know,
You're
it's
done.
and
Yeah.
and I'll put the link in the chat right now too.
Appreciate it.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
because
yeah.
I'll go down 3 grand. I'll be like, I can handle that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's best to have that
I
limit.
can handle that.
Now that'll start creating bag holding issues, and you don't. I
Yeah.
blew up a lot of my accounts bag holding, and you don't want to be in that situation.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to ask, so when he was talking about holding it, like I remember you saying you're holding it for a month and then you make money. But if you hold it and you're negative, you owe the margin call at the end of the day. So you can't hold it for a month unless you're always positive, correct?
That was for options, I believe.
Yeah.
No.
I was talking
I
about
think
options.
Okay. Because I know on this one you can't hold it because but then options have a expiration date if I'm
Yep.
not mistaken.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he
So
was
you
talking
get-
about trading, getting in, buying options on the daily chart and then holding for a month. Not futures options, just SPY options.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Because I'm like, you can't, because if you're down, you're gonna owe them like
Yeah.
$2,000 at the end of the day. And
Yeah.
and then isn't there a carryover fee too, right? If you swing trade a ES future and you want to hold it, isn't there another charge on top of that? Because that's what I thought I read.
I know there's a maintenance fee,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
that
There's
might
some
be
kind
what
of
you're talking about.
yeah, there's some kind of fee if you're, like I said, if you are waiting for if you're not a negative, not a sell, and you want it to go up and you think it's going to go up, I think there's a little fee over the night if you hold and then the next morning you wake up and then it pops and then you sell, then you make money.
Mhm.
But yeah, okay, all right.
Moral of the story: do not hold overnight. That's it. That's
Not
the
unless
moral
you
of
have
the
the
story.
capital too.
Yeah.
Or unless you're really sure.
Yeesh. All right. So this is my second trade on that day. Still on the 17th. So like I said, in the morning it didn't play out well, and then late in the morning. I think that was like an hour after or something like that. So I went for another trade on this one. So yeah, so my MACD was on the bearish side.
Yep.
My RSI was getting, I think I had divergence going or something like that. But then yeah, I took a 5 point there. Afterward, I noticed that I could have taken it for longer, like if I would have just held it. Now this is my A-grade setup right here.
Yep.
But on this one, I didn't take it, but I think you did Semper and then
Yep.
you wrote it down. But,
I wrote it down
but
to
yeah.
the 200.
Yeah, but that's it. Was me, I was done. That was my third trade of the day. I'm like, I took 3 trades, 2 red, 1 green. Like I break even for that day, and then I just call it a day. Not to overtrade it.
And here's a great example of being patient. For Easy's grade A setup, which is a pullback. So the 10 crosses a 50 right here, right? Boom.
Mhm.
The RSI is on the bear side because it's below the 50 RSI. And not only that, right here you got big old red volume beats. And then this little guy right here, even though there was 4 consecutive green bars, that was a seller beat. This was a seller beat. So what is that telling you? Sellers are coming in. And it broke back down below the 50 RSI right there. It didn't
Yeah.
hold. So you could either got in on this candle, one tick
Mhm.
below the pullback high, which was this green candle. So you could have got in there, or you could have got in on this candle. As soon as it opened below this one,
Yeah.
got in. And if it broke that 100 EMA, what happens next? The next
200.
level is the next moving average, which is a 200 down here. So
Yeah.
just gotta wait and hold. You know, your
Yeah.
stop would have been right here, and just let it ride.
And so you didn't take profit along the way?
I did. I usually take profits around 10 points, and then I let the rest ride.
Okay, so I see the cross, right, on the bigger red candle, right? There's a cross,
Yeah, right here.
but the cross didn't happen until after the big red candle.
I'm not basing on the cross on that.
Excuse me?
I'm not basing my trade on that cross.
Okay,
I'm basing
and
my
then
my trade on the 1050 cross because it's already bearish right here.
1050. Okay, yeah. Okay, so the cross was there. He took the trade and then made money when it hit the, what's the blue? I'm
At
sorry,
100.
100, right? But you, again, you guys are playing at the same time. You're like, nope, that's not good. And then hit the 100.
Yep.
And then you're actually waiting, right? And then
Yes.
the tick goes up. And then what makes you take the, first of all, two things. What makes you take the trade where you do? I don't know if you can remember, but
Yep.
then how come 123 didn't re-enter a trade? Because he sees a big red candle, well, a medium-sized red candle, and then again, if you're playing it live, right, it goes up, it hits the which was that, the 50 EMA,
Yep.
right?
50 SMA is the red one right here.
Yeah, 50. Is that a 50? I thought it said
SMA.
EMA. Yeah,
It should be SMA.
EMA.
It says EMA
Yeah,
on his.
EMA, SMA, yeah, but yeah, it's still the same thing.
So-
But yeah, it
Right,
was.
so it hits
I
that
put
hits
EMA.
that moving averages, and then there's that medium-sized candle, right? And then so why didn't you re-enter and think you could make more money? That's my
And
question.
okay, in my case, it's very simple. It's because right now, at that point, it's already 1 o'clock. My bosses are there like at work. And also I already made 3 trade, all right? So I don't want to
Right,
over
right,
trade. I
okay.
just call it a day. That's it.
That's okay.
But yes, if
that's
not, I would have entered exactly there when that red candle break the green one.
right. Okay, that's
Right.
a real world explanation.
For me, I had told Easy, hey, Easy, your grade A setup is here. And he said, all right, you know, or he missed it or something because of his boss, obviously. But I took it one tick because his grade A setup is the 10 crossing the 50 right here,
Yep.
right? And then the grade A, what makes it a grade A setup is the confirmation of the 50. So here is the confirmation of the 50.
Where's the okay? But
Right
then
here.
that's when it. So when you say confirmation, because it went back there.
Yep.
So you're saying okay, and then wouldn't the confirmation be the next red candle?
No, because it broke the 50. So I'm waiting for a candle to tag the 50, and the green candle tagged the 50. Not only that, it created a pullback high. When you're going short, you have to wait for the pullback high to finish. Because I could have got in on this candle, right? I could have got in on that candle, or I could have got in right here at the 50 SMA. But
Right.
how am I gonna know that this one's not gonna be a big green candle going above the 50 right here?
Correct.
So
So now,
the way that I enter is I enter on the momentum side because okay, it opened up right there, okay, and now I'm just waiting. Okay, the candle's going, it popped up. You see how it popped? It tagged the 50 again, and then but this is still higher because the way that I enter is I wait for the pullback high. So this is a pullback high.
Okay.
I identified that as a pullback high candle. Now
right,
I'm
and
just
tagging the
waiting.
50. Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So it tagged the 50 again, and I'm still waiting. It's coming down, stumming down. As soon as it breaks one tick below this green candle, I'll
Yep.
hit, or 2 ticks sometimes, because
Yep.
when you
Yep.
buy the bid, it's gonna put me 1 tick higher. So it would put me right at my optimal entry.
Okay.
So I
Okay, so-
entered there,
Right.
and then I seen this, and then I was like, oh shit, was
What'd you
not
see?
expecting that. And then I just let it come back, tag the 10 right here. It held the 10 right there. So just let it ride.
Yeah, see, I would have sold out, right? So after the big red, I'd be like, oh, I got money.
You
I'm
can.
just making. Okay, so if I put in 10 contracts, which I would never do 10, but say I put in 10, right? I'm making the number easy.
Yeah.
Then at the bottom of the big red, right? Sell 8 of them.
Yep.
Right, or 6 of them, whatever, and then hold the rest.
Yep.
And so, what made you believe I understand that it's good. You think it's going to go to the 200 EMA, right?
Yep.
But what was it something that said, okay, it's probably going to do that? But you know, we all know it might not. But what was when it hit
Okay.
that 10? We hit the 10. Is that another good sign?
No. So look, the 10 SMA starts crossing all the moving averages. So to me, in my brain, is if the 10, okay, so the first step is for the 10 across the 50, correct? That's his first one. The second one that tells me that it still has strength to go back down to the 200 is, first off, this big red candle shows strength, right?
Yes.
This one, this little green candle scared me a little bit because it was a
Yes.
green volume beat.
Yes, that's
But-
exactly what I'm talking about. Yep.
But the 10 SMA crossed the 100. So that's just telling me it's getting more strength. So at this point, yeah, I'm nervous, right? Because it might start creating higher lows and then do this jazz.
Yes.
But it tagged and it held the 50. It tagged it right here. And I'm like, okay, I got my finger on the trigger just in case I need to lock in
Right,
some
right.
profits.
Right.
But
I
I
would
seen
lock in some profits already, bro. You got guts.
I seen the 10 SMA still slope steeply down right here.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, it has some strength to hold below the 10 SMA. Now, if the 10 SMA was flat, like right here, see how it's flat? If it was
Yeah.
flat up here, I would have been a little bit more cautious. But the RSI is helping me. It's on the bear side. It didn't even come close to the 50 RSI on any of these little pops. On that pop, on this little pop, it didn't get, close. I'm talking about like right here, close. And it didn't. So I'm using multiple tools to kind of guide me through my trade. Even though we got a green volume beat, I'll say, okay. And this is one of the biggest things that I emphasize for all the traders is, wouldn't you guys think that this big red candle would have created a bigger volume bar? Right?
Yeah, I would
Compared
say
to this
yes,
one.
Yeah.
Look at that little one. It's like a third of the size, but yet it has a lot of volume in it.
Mhm.
So keep an eye on that. On this side, it didn't work in my favor because it was green. If it was red, then yeah, it would have been in my favor. I would have had more confidence. But you're using other stuff on the chart to help you guide you through your trade. And this whole time I'm talking to myself. I know your wife might think you're crazy or your partner might think you're crazy, but talking to yourself through the trade is going to help you slow down the trade or slow down the chart. Because as you see things, you're talking yourself through. So right here, I said, after that big green volume beat, I told myself, as long as it holds a 10, I'm good. As long as it holds a 10, I'm good. Okay, it's looking good. It never broke the 10, really. Right here, yeah, never broke
It there on that green one. It broke it.
It tagged it, but it didn't break above it. See how
green
it's
is
right
10.
here? The 10 is right here, and the tick
Yeah,
goes
yeah.
right below it.
Yeah, but look at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The next big green. It broke the 10. Am I
Yeah,
saying it
over
wrong?
here. Yep. But still, look,
Yeah.
not even close. And if I start seeing higher lows right here, like this, and getting close to the 50, then yeah, I'm already thinking, okay, I might want to lock in profits.
Can I say something, Semper?
Yes.
Yes. Also, since I entered that trade and since I entered that trade and exited, after that, what happened? You were just getting lower high and lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low.
Yep.
So that's the other confirmation that the price action keeps going down.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
And another thing that I failed to mention is, see how it's closing in? The 50 is also sloped down. It's sloping, closing in on the 100. Now, if the 50 was like this, going along with it, then yeah, it might cause me it, because the way the moving averages work, is they flatten out before the next fastest moving average flattens out before the the faster moving average. Like, you'll start to see, so see the fastest moving average is pointing down, right? But before this, the 50 was flat. It wasn't pointed up and it wasn't pointed down. And then the other moving average is coming down to it. So just like this happened, see how it's flat right here? And then the faster moving averages is coming down to it. Over here, you can kind of see how the 100 is going up and then it kind of starts to flatten out right here. And then guess what? The next fastest moving average is going to cross to it. So then over here, the 200 is pointing up, but guess what it's doing? It's beginning to flatten out over here. For what? For the 50 to cross that down here. And then comes the 100 down. It goes in steps. So that's telling me that it has strength. So the first thing is the 10 crossing both moving averages, and then the next bigger, if you only have the 10 and the 50, the next bigger time frame is also closing in on the next biggest moving average. And the way the moving averages work is usually it'll break that moving average, which is 100, right? So over here, it broke the 50. What's it do? It comes back, retests the 50, and then it goes on to attack the next one. Attack the next moving average. Attacks this moving average, it breaks through it. So when it breaks through it with this candle, I'm already thinking, okay, worst case scenario, it's going to come back, tag the 100 for confirmation, and go back down for the 200. And on to the next, right? So now it's over here. If it breaks the 200, what am I waiting for? Confirmation off the 200 for it to
And
go
then
down to the
666.
666.
That's right. Yeah.
Does that answer your question? Did he leave? Oh, he's on mute.
Yep, I'm good.
Cool.
All right, so that was my my third trade, like I said, and I became flat on the day. I just closed my chart, whatever. Here's my last trade on the week. This one, not the best trade, but it was a green trade, but I was able to capture 4 point out of this one. Yeah, 4 point when I got in, and yeah, luckily, well, no, not luckily, I saw what was happening in the chart. Yeah, so I took my short entry. The trade happened quick. Yeah, it happened so quick that when it happens so quick, I always tend to sell because I know it's going to reverse or there's more chance of it to reverse. So that's what happened there. But like I said, it was just 4 points, a quick 4 points, and then boom, luck in the profit. And then, yeah, luckily I did because right after that, it reversed to the upside.
Yep.
That's it. Yeah.
And this one, just like he already had the bears, MACD, it's on the bearish side because it's below the 0 line. So he already knew right here it was bearish. Went to cross right here. Bearish. Look at RSI cross below the 50, 2 or 3 bars below before that, and it stayed on the bear side until over here.
Yeah.
And over here, you know, once it smashed through the 200 or the 100, whatever is right here, the next moving average is the 666.
Yeah.
But you would wait for a higher low off of the 50 SMA is my recommendation, because that would be Easy's A-grade setup for a long, because the 10 and the 50 are right there. So now you want to see the price action bust through the 50, come back, hold the 50. And at that time, you want to tell yourself is come back, hold the 50 RSI. If it does those two things, then it's going to push up.
Yeah.
But if the RSI is still down here, then you might want to be very cautious of taking that play.
By the way, Semper, while you're talking right now, you just said it's my grade A setup, but whatever to go long. And then I just saw it, but at the same time, I'm like, ugh, I don't want to learn that. Like it bugs me to know when I can go long. Yeah, I just wanted to add that.
But in
Yeah,
real,
definitely.
in the real life trade, right? So he took it on that red candle, and you made, your P&L will be good. But that next green candle, you lost almost all your money, right? So your red is down there, it's at the bottom, right? If you take it from the wick, and then it goes all the way back up almost to where you originally bought it at. You're probably only up whatever, $50, $100, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that minute right there, is this a minute thing? Oh, that must have been a rough minute, because you're like, I'm just throwing a number out there. So let's say you made 500, then you lost 400 on that next green candle. And then, yes, then you started getting it back. But that minute would be like, damn, I should have got out. And then, then the game was good for you, right? Then that candle way
But
up.
the way we taught easy to enter is, okay, enter over here, and his stop would have been up here. Or somewhere
okay.
about what these
Yeah,
moving averages.
yes, that's how I set that up with the ATM on the ATM strategy. Correct. But I'm just talking in real life, even though you got the stop set up, you're like, I was up 500 and now I'm only up, 100. You're like, what the hell?
Yep.
That's a rough minute. That's all I'm saying.
It is a rough minute, but one big thing that'll help him through that is this bearish engulfing setup right here. Right? It's a bearish engulfing because it's bigger than this red candle. And then it's a bearish engulfing because of that big red candle, those two red candles.
Yeah. But in the time that it's happening, you're like, you have to look back.
No, yeah.
Down.
You get your heart rate going for sure.
Hell yeah.
And also something that kept me on the trade, and then I was being confident, is the fact that price action is still below the 50 SMA.
Yep.
So as long as it stays below the 50 SMA, there's no worries. And Semper, maybe you can explain that better, that hard open close above it. But I know all these moving averages were acting as resistance. So in order to push through it, you'd need a lot of volume.
Yep.
So that's why I was confident staying in that trade. And then
then
when it dropped, that's when I covered.
Very good.
And another thing that Easy does is he watches the larger time frames for him to either stay in the trade or maybe get out of the trade. So even though he entered on the 1 minute, his 15 or 5 minute would have been bearish. So he's been like, okay, I can still hold on. Because as of lately, the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've only been trading on the 5 minute. I've been using the 5 minute to tell me whether to enter or not. And then I'll time my entry on the 1 minute to get a better entry.
Repeat that.
I use a 1 minute to say, okay, am I getting in or am I waiting? Right?
Yep.
Because it's a 5 minute, and I've entered a couple times on the 5 minute, and I haven't got the best entry. So I go back down to the 1 minute to get a better entry. Because let's say I'm going short right here. Let's just pretend this is a 5 minute chart, right? The 5 minute chart is telling me to enter way down here, right? That's the way that I like to enter, because here's a pullback high. I identified the pullback high. So my entry would be 1 tick below the break of this body. So it would be like right here on the 5 minute chart. But on the 1 minute chart, it might look like this. Let's just pretend this is a 1 minute chart, right? So I'm getting a way better entry on the 1 minute because I'm entering over here on the 1 minute, where on the 5 minute, I'd be like almost a point behind.
Gotcha.
Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it takes a little bit of practice. It's not that easy, but the main thing that's helped me do it. So on the 5 minute, see how it's on the 50 SMA? On the 1 minute, it would be around the 10 SMA. You know what I'm saying? The moving averages kind of line up. And to answer your question, Land, is yes, I do look at the bar timer, and that's why I recommend it for everybody. Because one of the biggest things that Brandon always talks about is how the last 10 seconds of the 5 minute or the last 30 seconds of the 5 minute candle closes.
Yeah, the
Sometimes
scam.
yeah, exactly. That's how you identify those scams. Like let's just say this was a 5 minute candle. The last 30 seconds, they would have sucked it down. You're like, oh shit, I'm getting in short. And even with the 1 minute, the 1 minute's the last 10 seconds. The last 10 seconds, you'll see it get sucked up or sucked down, and you're like, oh shit, sellers are coming in. Or those are the algos. Those are the algos. Like on this one right here, it's probably taking out getting all these sell orders filled. And that's what caused this suck down. And that's why I always say, look to your left, see if there's any wicks. Because when there's wicks, there's orders there that didn't get filled. So let's say right here, there's a bunch of sellers that didn't get filled, right? And there's a lot of buyers that
Big
that
profit.
that didn't lock in profit. They didn't lock in profit. And what do they got to do to lock in profit? They got to sell. Right here, there's two sellers, right? Because the buyers got to lock in profit by selling, and the sellers are getting in by selling. So that caused this big wick right here.
Oh, because
Because
that's when those orders finally got filled.
yeah, exactly.
The
Because
seller.
these high frequency machines, they can't cancel their orders, or at least I don't think they can. But there's a big old block. There's a big old block of sell orders that didn't get filled.
Oh, so those aren't retail sell orders, those are black box sell orders.
It could be whatever.
Right. All right. But those black box ones are the more likely to like linger up there or
Yes.
yeah, all right, all right. But then also a lot of retail folks, if they find a level, they might just leave it there and be like, yeah, that's my level, so that's where it's gonna sell.
Exactly.
All right, right on.
And that's what got it. That's what caused the suck down quick. So like as soon as you see a candle and it gets sucked up, you're like, okay, so who got taken out? Look to your left. See if there's any structure like this, like this, any structures like this. Because these guys too caused this candle to keep going down.
Yeah.
So candle development. Look at candle development. Talk yourself through the trade. I don't know, Easy. Have you been talking yourself through the trade, or are you just listening to Brandon?
No, I'm more listening to Brandon or whoever's talking, but at the same time, like I'm not like trigger happy, like going like just clicking trades and trades. I'm still waiting for my setup. I don't enter like based on what people are saying. I'm still watching for my setup. I don't know if you noticed, like at first or 2-3 weeks ago, I was being influenced when Brandon was talking versus now, even if he says it's a long day, me, I'm still going short if I see my setup.
Yep.
And it's been working for me. So I'm happy on that one.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
No, I'm not talking to myself, unfortunately.
Because you could have been right? You could have been short. You could have played your play. And then like 10 minutes later, it's a long day. The rest of the day, it's long. So you're right because your A grade setup, played out. But Brandon's also right because it's a long day.
Yeah. That's it. But I'm gonna take the habit as well. I mean, I see Pete in the chat, like he's putting levels in the morning.
Yep.
But me, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna put the level that I'm gonna go short. Just so that to keep, that's kind of the talking to myself.
Yep.
Like, oh, I'm gonna go short on the 15-minute chart, or I'm gonna go short on the 20-minute chart. It's things like that I'm gonna be saying. So
that, and then watch Brandon's recaps. For anybody that's new, watch Brandon's recaps. A lot of the time, the manipulation happens after hours. You see the manipulation. This week, there was a lot of manipulation. Why was there manipulation? Because you can see, like, there was a lot of data coming out. this week. There was a Powell speech. One of the biggest things that I tell you guys to do is pay attention to what is happening right before Powell's speech. Remember during Powell's speech, it was going down. So what should you guys be expecting?
Whoa.
Big pop.
Pop. Yes. Now, just because it's going down doesn't mean that it's gonna be reversal when he speaks. But you can expect the pop. If it's going down, you can expect the pop. Because right after he's like 5 minutes into his speech, right? It went up, it popped up, just like I told you guys it would. And then it started just going down, draining, because the market is taking that information in. And then you got to wait for market digestion, right? During market digestion, you're either going to see it continue going down, and then it's going to base, and then it's going to pop again during power hour. They set this shit up on purpose, right? They set it up right before power hour so Powell can speak, and then they're going to allow for like 30 to 45 minutes of digestion. How is the market really going to take the news? This week he was talking about continuing tightening, continuing. So we're assuming there's going to be continuing rate hikes. So what does that tell us? So for the next speech, you got to kind of anticipate the next speech. So he's saying that there's going to be continuing tightening. So we're thinking, another rate hike. Now, is he going to rate hike it 50 basis points, 25 basis points, 75 basis points, or is he going to pause? Right? If he pauses, what do you guys think is going to cause?
We'll change the direction.
Yeah, it's going to pop. It's going to continue going up. Because why? Because he set the expectation, this speech, that he's going to continuing tightening. So that means rate hikes. But if he pauses, what's that going to do? We would expect for it to go up. But if market digests the pause as bad, then it's going to go down. But what's going to give us that signal? What happens the day before? What happens a couple hours before? What price action is doing right before? So pay attention to market psychology, okay? So we already have the expectations of continuing rate hikes. So the next speech in December or whenever it is, he's going to either say, oh, we're going to continue rate hike at 0.25. But if job numbers are bad, you got to take that into consideration, because during the Christmas season, what happens during the Christmas season?
More buying.
What's that?
More buying from retail.
Well, not only that, but a lot of the companies, what are they doing? They're hiring because there's going to be an influx of buyers coming in. So they're hiring. So then the job numbers might not be bad. They might be even better.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're hiring all these temporary seasonal workers. So that's going to cause the job report to get fucked up. So if the job numbers are strong, that might cause the market to go down. And then Powell is either going to say, I'm going to pause or I'm going to increase.
Speaking of down, the market is now at an all-time low for today. That the spot. It's at 421.56.
Yep, I would expect it to go down to 420.86, right where the 666 is.
I was looking for 420. I mean that low we had on October 6th. That's what I'm expecting.
It's almost at -1 deviation. It's already below the mean.
Especially on the daily chart, the SPY doesn't like to go past the -1. It rarely does.
Yep.
So what do we expect on Monday? A pop.
Time to buy some calls.
It might pop today. 15 minutes market closes.
It's a little bit close to closing, but pay attention on Sunday how it opens because that's gonna give us an indicator how SPY is gonna open on Monday, because SPY is not open during the weekend, but futures is open on Sunday, so we can take a look at futures to see what might happen on Monday. And that's why I recommend to all new traders or any members here is, okay, you don't have to trade Sundays, but at least look, because what does futures do? It gives you a future outlook at what might happen on Monday.
Oh, it's going down. It's now it's at 421.53. It even dropped more.
It still got room to the 666. We'll get there.
Where's the 666 at, you said?
It is at
I thought you said 421.86.
no, it's 420.86.
420.86. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I see it. 420.95 on mine, but okay, got it.
Around that area.
Got it. Yeah.
By the way, I don't call it the 666. I call it the 665 because I don't like the number 666.
Wow.
I actually changed it on my, and it's like a couple. It's like 4 cents off because I won't put no 666 on my computer. That's not happening.
That's cool.
Is that your last trade, Easy, or?
Yeah, that was my last trade. Like I said, I didn't trade much, and then yesterday I didn't trade at all because I wasn't feeling it. So, and thank God I didn't touch anything because when I looked at the chart, I was like, "Whoa, what the hell happened?"
Yeah,
like it was just
Oh,
up and
yeah,
down, up
it
and
was
down.
way
it's
up.
always good when you're not in the mood or in the right mindset to trade. Is just take the day off, or if you're super busy at work, glance at the charts, but don't trade it if you're not fully focused on trading.
Yeah. That's it. So yeah, that was my last trade of the week. And like I said, next week, what's my plan for next week? Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna in the morning, I'm gonna mention where I'm gonna take my trades just to make sure, to put myself accountable. And
have a trade plan and stick to it.
Yeah.
Whatever your trade plan is.
Yeah, and lastly, or like I said, if I get 2 red trade in a row, then I'll call it a day instead of trying to find the perfect grade A setup to get me out of the hole.
I highly recommend that. I think that's going to help you get more consistent. Brandon's been on a hot streak for 82 days now.
Okay.
It rubs off. It rubs off on everybody in the chat.
Nice.
So stick to your routine, stick to your game plan, and definitely stick to your rules. Whatever rules you have, stick to them. Because if you don't have no rules, you're gonna bend them or break them or not even follow them, and you're gonna end up in a bad spot.
Yep.
Does anybody else have any trades that they want to share?
I mean, I got a couple, but if anybody like new or who hasn't shared in a while wants to jump in first, please do.
Yeah, anybody can share. Whoever wants to share their trade, you can share your trade on the futures chat or the members recap, or you can share your screen if you want to talk. If not, I think Lasagna Cat has a couple he can share.
I'll go after Lasagna Cat, but I want to see his stuff. I want to learn more so than anything else.
All right, right on. I'll do 1 or 2, and then we'll give it over to you.
Okay,
sounds good. That was Kelsey, right? Right on.
Yep.
It sounds cool.
Yep.
Nice. All right, so let me just make a little timestamp note, and then I'll share my screen.
Anyone? By the way, Semper, do you remember what happened on Thursday? The 17th. I don't know if it was Thursday. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, that was
the 17th was Tuesday. Was there a data on that day?
I think there was job reports.
Okay. Because I was looking at the daily chart. I'm like, how come it went so high? Like I was trying to figure it out. But yeah.
This is cool. Like all my trades from this week look kind of alike. Oh, go on. No, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, it's okay. I'm done. I'm
Oh,
good.
okay. I'm so polite. So can everyone see my screen?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah.
All right, right on. So I'm trading 2 contracts and trading the setup that I've been trading the whole time. And so for everyone who's new or hasn't tuned in for a while, the setup that I usually look for, the price action is a nice lower high followed by hopefully another lower high.
You mean higher low?
Oh yeah, my bad, higher low. A little bit opposite day kicking in there. So yeah, I got my 2 higher lows. And I usually draw a fib on the first first big up, just like that. And then what you call it? And then I'll draw down to there, you know. And so that's my fib. That's like the setup. And I've got different what do you call it? Indicators that I use along the way. But for the next few recaps, it all follows basically that pattern, that setup. So yeah, this is the first one. It's a trade from Monday. This one took the fuck off to the upside. Holy shit. And I only caught some of it. But that's because I had reasons for setting that target. So let me just dig right in. So I got my nice dump coming down from the top of this price action here. And I was watching the moving averages, looking at volume. I saw this big red volume here. I figured it was like red volume getting exhausted out. So I kept my eye on that. Then down here in RSI, down below, I started seeing higher lows forming. So it hit its head on RSI 50 right here, which can be a deterrent. However, I saw that right below it, MACD was looking good. And then even more up to date, I looked up and saw that TTM was starting to show good signs. So yeah, higher low did hit the 50, but then again, RSI did hit the 50 on the underside, but then again, it had higher lows, which is great. Good MACD and good TTM. So I was like, hell yeah, this looks good to me. So it came into my buy zone here. That's the green line and the peach line dotted right here, my buy zone on the fib. Low candle pullback. And so I got in a couple ticks above that to catch the momentum that Semper talks about. I kept a pretty safe target on this. I took it all off here, just shy of the 100. I always take it shy of the target. This thing took off. I had no real indication of that it would be this big a move. And I think maybe if I paid more attention to market psychology or certain significant elements that Brandon takes into consideration, I don't know, maybe I would be able to forecast. And also it would do me well to just take off half, 75% and let the rest ride.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. If you did 10 contracts, take 8 back and let 2 ride.
Yeah, no doubt, Kelsey, because like it continued going on way the fuck up off this current screenshot. Yeah, but
you would
a second target here, just under the 200 would have been really legit anyways. And also
even to the 161.
Yeah. Oh, right here. This is the 160 right here. Yeah. I mean, I was pretty happy with that target.
I would too. Yeah. On contract. Yeah. That's a good move, man. If you had 8, 10 contracts, that's a lot of money right there.
Oh yeah. That's it. It's totally legit. It's definitely legit. And I'm definitely happy with that one, but I do want to work more on letting some ride, splitting up the trade, contracts. Because also my confidence is way up, but still, the bear market, it can be abrupt for some of these long moves to just kind of reject. And I'm sort of in the position where I'm still growing my account, and I'm let me pick one good target. And so I was like, okay, here's one good target. And it was legit, and I was happy. And it's always nice to be calling these huge moves anyway, or just to have called the entry. And I've mentioned before that my entries are one of the huge improvements since going through this process with Semper and these meetings. And I'm just I'm real happy with that entry right there. You know, that's like,
It's laser.
yeah, I'm psyched about that. Let's see more of those, you know.
Very nice
Yes,
entry. Very nice entry.
thank you.
Uh,
Yeah.
Definitely when you see the strong candles smashing through the moving averages or fib levels, that's a signal that's strong.
Yeah.
If it like goes up and tags your level, then it
Mhm.
might not be as strong, but
Right.
definitely pay attention to that. Like it smashes a 161, okay, where's it going? To 200% for
Yeah.
sure.
Because it's
Or
like even if I want to do like a limit order here where the first arrow is, I could just do the limit for a half or 3/4 and then
Mhm.
see how the rest of the candle develops after that.
Yep.
Yeah, on Ninja, right, you can do that ATM strategy,
Mhm.
which is really good. You can set it up to say, and then you can move it even after you
Yep.
do it. You can move it. Oh, it's going to go up, right? If you're looking at, you see the volume good, you can move it instead of selling at 2 contracts, you could sell it at 3 contracts, and then if it makes, then at that point, again, I wouldn't. I mean, if you had an A1 setup here, I would make up that strategy, and I would, based upon that huge green candle that your original buy was at,
Yeah.
right? And it went all the way for that whole minute, and then it started good in the next. I definitely would not have sold the whole package. Like I said, I don't know how many you bought, but if I had bought 10, I just used the number because it's easy.
Right.
I only would have, because of the strength, I only would have sold 7. I would
Yeah,
have
I
took the
feel you.
rest.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
you. That would be ideal, no doubt, no doubt. Because yeah, both those candles, like just like you said, since this one smashed through right
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
and then all it needed was that little bit of confirmation right there
Yes.
to
Yep.
go up. And then same deal with the big one, and then it had the next big one, and it had that little nice wick over there to confirm. Now I'm getting a lot of circles, but you know what I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
saying.
No
That's
crop
good. No, but
circles.
see, I always go back when I see something like that. I go back and I look. Well, if I had done 5 and 5, whatever the number is, right? If I had kept, how much money would I have made? Let's say, what would I have done? Would I have gone to the 200, or I waited all the way up to one of these daily dashes that you have there? Like, how, when will I have gone to?
Right,
Right. And I think for sure any of us would have definitely gone to the 200 on the fib, right?
right.
And most of us would have considered, I don't know, what is that, a 2? What is that dash purplish line down a
Yeah.
little?
So that's my 200 EMA, and the solid
Yeah.
one is 200
Yeah.
SMA right there.
See, so I would have definitely, I might even set up 3. Like, I definitely would have sold a bunch more at the 200% on the fib. Like, let's say you went there 10 contracts. I would sort out 5 to 7 at the first mark.
Hmm.
And then I would have waited to especially with the strength, I would have waited. And I
Yeah,
mean, I would say, well, how much money would I have made? Because you would have, it looked to me that you're right. That was a huge move.
for sure. And
Great
so,
call. Great call.
oh yeah, for sure. Thank you very much. And like, and what you're saying with those targets, like I completely agree on those. And those are like going to be, that's going to be me graduating from account builder to like to let's fucking get it level. You know what I mean? And that's where it's heading. So I'm really psyched. And yeah, those targets, because you're right. Like combining a fib target, that's the 200, and the SMA target, that's brilliant. And there's nothing wrong with the 100 SMA, because like I said, the bear market has me.
That's your check. Yeah, that's a good check.
Yeah, for sure. So it's it's all really viable. And but based on what you guys are talking about now, with the fact that this candle smashed through, here comes more circles, and then the green wick next to it confirming on the 100 for the back test. It's like, yeah, it's a lot of circles. It's most likely going to go up to the 200. Let me draw one more
So
circle right
did
up
on
here.
on your setup though, other than the RSI, which you said tagged the 50 right at the bottom there,
Yeah.
other than that, was there any other deterrents that would have made this, Semper, if you could chime in, what would not have made this? 'Cause I look at this and I'm like, how is that not your perfect setup, right? And then in what I've learned, I haven't traded futures, but I've traded other ones, is deviations. What I learned is that when you see a good setup, like if you're doing day trading and that thing is at a -3, -4 standard deviation, you go in hard because it's, in other words, let's say you found Apple at 150, you know it's going to go to 175 at some point. So go in a lot of contracts or a lot of shares because you know it's coming back. So on this one, that's what I'm trying to determine. Okay, what's the A1 setup? Because you tend to make more money. I think what you're talking about, that next level, is when guys get their perfect setup that you're used to and you know, they go harder in. Bigger contracts.
Yeah, that's what I do. Because sometimes you'll see me with 10 contracts, or sometimes you'll see me with 4 contracts. That's just based on the setup that I see. Sometimes I scale in as well as scale out. But definitely there's a lot of things right here that that Lasagna Cat could have used to. There was a falling wedge breakout right here.
Yep, that's a nice look. The 2 reds, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So just catch that. Um, and a lot of the things that I don't know if I told everybody, but I've told a lot of the members that have been here for a while is see these little these little wicks. So there's a lot of orders right there. A
Yeah.
lot of shorts. A lot of shorts that didn't get filled. Right? So you know if it gets over that wick, what's gonna happen? It's gonna squeeze. Okay, so where's gonna squeeze? I wasn't sure how fast this candle went up, but it looks like it went up with some speed, and that's because of this. Oops.
This candle right here went
This
up
these
dumb quick.
Yeah, and that's because of these 2 large wicks right there.
Right.
Because and these things all jacked.
FYI, the market closed at 420.87.
There we go. These 2 wicks. Gosh dang it. How do I get my shit back? Sorry guys, I'm working with this new fucking drawing tools and it's all jacked.
Oh yeah, it's annoying. Mine just loaded today and I don't like it.
Yeah, I was trying to freaking not like it. Cause it used to be like free drawing and now I can't even find it. Now I'm stuck with lines. Okay.
Oh, the free drawing is the top row, the top horizontal row. Like click the first pencil on the top on the left.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that'll do
yeah.
it.
Yeah, they changed all this shit on me. But anyways,
Yeah,
you
they're
got
going.
this wick right here and you got this wick right here. So we get over that, gonna squeeze. All right, where's it gonna squeeze to? Okay, next this little wick right here. If it
Hmm.
gets over that, where's it gonna squeeze to? A little bit right here, not that much. This is a speed bump. But if this wick causes a rip through the 100, it's going to the 200,
Oh,
especially
yeah.
with that strong. So always look back. If you see big upper wicks when it's going up, then and it goes above that thing, it's gonna cause a pop. Like this right here is gonna cause a pop. These right here is gonna cause this little pop.
Oh, you know what? Keep your drawings up there. I'm gonna take a screenshot of this because this is next level shit. Boom. Okay, got the screenshot.
But in the reverse, so look at the big green candle. That has a big wick, and there's no red candle. The next candle is green, and then green, and then green, and then green, right? So there's that strategy. I agree with it, but I'm just saying we need to use it correctly because yeah, that one right there. Look at all the buying wicks, and it did not go red after that. And I know that's so. At some point, if you go to, when it comes back down, they're gonna have to. And if you're paying a selling market, you're going to have to fill all of those that you could potentially fill all of those buys. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yep, but at that point, like let's say the short got in over here, right? This right here, right? So let's say that price
Yep,
action is
yep.
coming back down,
Yes,
right?
right. And then when right there, it's going to be a big, another quote unquote big red candle, which would equate to, again, you're right. I think all of these previous wicks is what made that big red candle, big green candle, right? If you go back
Yep.
to the left and you look
Yep.
at right at 161.8, there's that big red wick.
Yeah,
That
right here.
converted to the big green candle.
Yep. And these wicks on the way down are gonna cause a pop on the way up. I mean, pop. Because why? Because the sellers are gonna be taking profit, right? They're gonna be
Yeah,
taking
yeah.
profit right here. And
Yep.
there's going to be orders that didn't get filled right here,
Yes.
therefore causing a pop.
Yes.
And then
Tracking.
and then possibly going down. One of the biggest things, Kelsey, I know you have the standard dev system. Yesterday, no, today, it rejected the weekly standard dev -1. I think it was a -1. And it just freaking drained
The SPY or ES?
SPY. Yep. It hit the weekly -1 and it drained right into the, well, I'm using the 5-minute. Like the third, like in the first 15 minutes. It was below the weekly standard dev and it rejected it and it just drained for like almost 2 hours. And then it popped up to the 100 EMA and then it drained again. But definitely there's some plays there to be had, especially off the weekly and the daily levels. We always stress there's either going to be a strong bounce or a strong rejection at those levels. And like anything else, like the daily supersedes the intraday and the weekly supersedes the daily, the strength being of that level. So there's definitely plays. But awesome play. Yeah, just pay attention to those candle developments. Like keep stressing if they're strong and they're smashing through levels, maybe hold on a little bit longer.
Yeah, that's the next key for me. In fact, like when I start seeing, here comes some more circles. When I start seeing like my catalyst building up, like here, getting my higher lows and shit, getting my RSI, getting the whole deal going. Like then now after like this convo, especially, I'll know to like look back in time and look for
Yep.
like wicks for circles that could signal continuation. That's awesome.
Yep.
I'm into that shit. All right, let me get rid of this slide. Should I do one more or should we kick it over
Go
to
for it.
Kelsey?
Or
Kelsey, do another one.
All right, cool. I'll get one more going here. So let me get rid of my tools. It's a lot of stuff. All right, right on. So forget that one. That one's over. What happened on Tuesday? No. Yeah, that one's similar. All right, yeah, let's do that one. I mean, they all kind of look like this. They really all kind of look like this. So yeah, man. So what happened over here was fairly similar. What are my tools? All right, well, fuck it. So yeah, so I got sort of the basing here with some double bottom, higher low RSI. MACD didn't really show anything. And in fact, I don't know if this move did continue. I wish I had taken a screenshot with more price action, whether it continued up or down. But I played this the way I played the other one as well. So so I had my low. I forget what the support was on SPY. It might have been major, might have been minor. Don't remember. And so kicked it up to there's a micro higher low there, which matched up with this low back here. I kind of noticed that. To me, that wasn't really an official higher low, but I noticed the price action. So when it came up here, I didn't draw a fib for this play, by the way. I just sort of like was monitoring the price action look and RSI continuing up. And which is why I kind of just took it for like this scalp. I wasn't expecting a huge move. Like I wasn't, not that this was a tiny play. This one was pretty fucking good. What was that, like 6 points actually?
Yeah, that's a big play.
Yeah, that one's not bad. So yeah, so here's what I did. You know, this red, it came down into my fib ad zone. Wait, what the fuck am I talking about? I drew a fib. Ugh, I'm all over the place.
Yeah, I see it right there. I was seeing.
I'm like
Right.
looking through the fib. What am I talking about? Oh shit. See, I drew a fib obviously from these greens down to the bottom. And then when it went in the ad zone came up, I took the tick above the close of the low
Yep.
candle. And that's our leg entry move. And it was based on that stuff. It was, this play had less confirmation, but I liked the look. Who knows, maybe some of my gut algo kicked in, but really I think what's most likely is that when it was over here, you know, like in this area, there was probably some major support on SPY is probably what was happening. Just like kind of like knowing the way that I think about stuff. And so I got in and so it looks like I picked the top of this candle, and that is where I exited, but I didn't pick the top of the candle. It's that my 200 fib was right here.
And you
And
went right below it.
yeah, exactly. 100%. 100%. And I was and when it pulled back, I was very fucking happy that I caught that part of the candle. And but at the same time, I wish that I had a screenshot of the rest of the move. I'll just look back at the chart. Actually, it's back on Tuesday because I want to see if the TTM turning bullish, because there's a little bit of bullish TTM right here, combined with RSI over 50, good MACD, and also that the moving averages are looking good, and that TTM was changing where my little 12 EMA is. Semper said the other day that when there's red TTM dots for sellers running out of the way, and it's mounting or holding the 21 SMA EMA. Fuck, I'm getting confused. That's the 21 EMA. So it's like it's TTM sellers running out of the way with red dots and EMA 21 holding. These are obviously green dots, but there's a little bit of bullish TTM coming in and holding 21. Well, long story short is I'd like to look and see where this went because there's a lot of good catalysts for continuation. So yeah, that's that one.
Just like a little bit ago, a lot of buyers right here. That didn't get filled. So what's gonna happen? A pop.
Yeah.
Pop. All this wick should cause a pop. You start to see a pop in this area, and then you got more buyers right here.
Yeah.
So those people are coming in or getting filled.
Yeah.
Like this, they got in and it caused this. Right? And some of this got filled as well. And then these, as long as it kept going down, kept filling these.
Yeah.
And which caused a bigger pop. Once you get over this and these right here, it's going to squeeze up.
Yeah.
And now if it doesn't, that means sellers came in and took control and it's gonna dump. Get that? So if everything was bearish and it didn't make it above these wicks,
yeah,
most likely it's the sellers took control or still have control because it was in a little bit of a sideways. It was stuck in a range, but at the current moment, it was in a downtrend.
And it's interesting too because that's sort of the decision mark, because like over here it's like, so these wicks here are the decision zone. And also so that means that my entry was right in the decision zone.
Yep.
And if I remember my psychology on this trade, I was very happy about the higher lows that were forming in RSI.
Yep.
But not only was my entry at the decision zone, which you're now pointing out, I remember I was a bit nervous because my entry was here, right, as it was coming up under RSI 50. Yep. So so that was a lot of reason for me to like maybe feel 50-50 about this trade. I don't remember exactly how I was feeling. And I often write that down, like in my recaps, like the psychological state. But I don't have that info. So you know, it's like, but also like going back down to RSI 50. I want to see what you think about this, Emperor. Is that like I sometimes say to myself, if the higher lows look good, um, and it's holding zones real good or whatever,
Mhm.
I say to myself, well, it has to smash through RSI 50 at some point, you know.
Yep.
But what do you think about that? Like, do you have any kind of thought process for when that is happening, or how do you consider that?
How the price action looks and how volume looks at the moment. So yeah, you got buyer beats, but seller beats, but buyers are coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And then this red candle right here should
Yeah.
have beat out this candle and it didn't.
Right. Yep.
So this candle.
Yeah.
Now, if you see that one beat out this one, then you know that the sellers are in control and they're gonna come in and take these sellers and take it down.
Got it. Yeah.
So the volume, I usually look at divergence. Like usually I like for it to go to the overcool, create a higher low off the 30. Well, it's still going down, right? Because it's still going down right here. But
Yeah.
RSI will tell you it's gaining strength to go up.
Yep.
Um, and you had the MACD right there, good. And
MACD was
it
good.
was spreading across. Not only that, but look at the oscillation. Sometimes it'll be like this where it's non-existent, but on the
Yeah.
other side.
Yeah, for sure.
Over here, it's on the MACD's on the bearish side because it's underneath the zero line.
Mm-hmm.
But you got the bullish cross and the oscillation is going up.
With some bullish green.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Got
cool.
TTM, sellers getting out of the way. And that's the way that I kind of look at it. I look at these little, you guys look at the MACD video that Brandon created,
Yep.
and he
One.
says like these go like to -2 or 3, whatever, and then that's like the max.
Yeah.
And then you should start seeing it kind of curl back up. But definitely looks like it would have tagged over here.
Yeah.
Just the way the MACD and the RSI look.
I want to something I observed about your volume comment. So this is when sort of like sellers were getting used up over here, like in particular here, like sellers are getting used up. And then you mentioned this green guy right here is strong. And then you mentioned that this red dude right here,
Yep.
What you call it?
Should have beat the green one.
Yeah, but it didn't. And so all that decision making happened, like that decision. So this red volume was sort of the decision one, and that happened right before the entry candle. So by the time this pops up for the leg entry, you already have that volume decision, so to speak.
Yep.
And that's really cool.
Hell yeah. As if it would have been if this one would have been this big green buyer beat right there.
Yeah.
It's telling you that there's buyers in these candles that either didn't get filled
Mm-hmm.
and
Like,
the sellers might get stopped out.
right.
Especially
Like,
I call these block order candles. So there's a big amount of buyers and sellers. So
yeah.
right there, this candle right there, you can mark it off like that.
Mm-hmm.
And when price action breaks above, then it's most likely going to take out all the sellers on the top.
And you're marking out the top of those block candles, like right here.
The block, yeah. So
Yes.
I would just block that whole candle, the body, like this. Yep,
Like
just
that.
like that.
All right, right on.
And then that's your pivot point.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be okay. If it breaks above here, it holds above here, it's gonna go up and it's gonna wipe out all these orders right here.
And then your encouragement for a leg entry on the green candle that did push up would be like this volume read over here.
Mhm.
Yeah. Cool shit. I like it. Like it. So yeah, so that was Tuesday. Um, let's see. Anybody want to jump in? Kelsey, you want to jump in and grab one? If
Mine
not,
aren't as good as yours. They're just simple little things, so we don't
Oh.
have to. I'm good.
all right, if you're sure, because there's plenty of learning that we can do, you know, if you want to share.
I have no problem sharing, but I'm just saying it's just I just have, I actually did about 12 trades today, right? And some of them were just practicing. Like I think it was I texted I sent a message to Semper saying, "Oh, I'm gonna, if in the real world I would shut down." But then
Right.
I saw plays that I wanted to try, and since it's not real money, I'll just try it. And I ended up in the end, I ended up being 240, but I got up to 375.30. And then I, lost some, won some, and then it went away. But I don't mind sharing it. I mean, I'm not sophisticated enough yet. I'm just kind of just going off of little moving averages. And for the most part, I'm like, you guys, I can't remember. I'm like, is that the 50? What is I have to look up and find out what I did. And
Right,
I
right.
tried to put it correctly. But I mean, yeah, I don't mind sharing, but I mean, I don't want to kind of waste everybody's time.
I mean, I don't know.
It's up
I
to you
mean,
guys.
yeah. I mean, I'm happy to do another. I could do a third, and then we'll see how you feel or whatever. You know, if you like.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's watch yours. Yours seem more exciting than mine. Mine is
All right.
simple.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Hey, well,
Kelsey's still getting used to Ninja Trader and getting his feet wet with futures.
that makes
His mind is getting blown by the power of futures and the potential that it has for you to grow or make.
I can't believe you can make that kind of money.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
it's
I couldn't have
unbelievable.
done it.
This week, so I've never played Ninja Trader futures before, right?
Yeah.
I had 3
Yeah.
days.
Well, what did you think? What do you think of it?
Awesome. The first day I made $1,700. The next day I made $1,700. And then today I made 300. So I don't know, excuse me, I got up to $3,000.
Damn.
Yes. My account, my paper money, not real money. And then if you add up everything that I made this week, I almost made $5,000 this week. That's incredible to me.
Yep.
I just can't believe I day traded before. I was telling Semper a couple of times I worked my way up from making $100 a trade, and I got to the point where I could make $300 to $500 on a daily basis. But it was a lot more work. It was to me, it was more difficult. This is easy.
Yeah.
I can eat. I made $300 today, and I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm nowhere. I mean, I got all the simplistic stuff. Sell at this EMA, watch for the cross, blah blah blah. Right? You can find any of that anywhere. Now it is sophisticated in the setup, but I mean, you guys all know real time. It's a lot different.
Yep.
That's a fact.
Yeah, and so but here I am in futures, and I'm making all this money. I never made this kind of money in day trading.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. So let's watch yours. Yours is much more interesting than mine.
Well, to give some like perspective of where we're coming from, the elites group and BRT, we traded equities for a long time, like a long
Yeah,
time.
that's what I did too. Yeah, that's what I did too.
Yeah.
I learned from Connor way back in 2019, 2020.
Yeah.
From YouTube, and I tracked him and watched it, and then his system seemed to work the best, and so his standard deviation system. So I have that on my Thinkorswim. And you know, the easy, again, it's simple, but to do it on a day trade, it's complex. You know, you buy it when it's at a negative deviation and you sell it when it's at an upper deviation. I mean, real simple.
Right.
Penny stocks are harder because they don't follow the deviations as well. But if you could find Apple, like I said, if you could find Apple at a -1 deviation, you buy, because it's gonna come back.
Just like Brandon said today, he said it's at -1 and it's lining up for the dragon year. And I'm gonna
But-
load up like at least
But on
20,
the
20
equities,
grand
right?
on that.
Yeah, but on the equities, first of all, you need money. And you need
Yeah.
money, you got to have 20,
Yep.
25K to day trade.
Yep.
And then if you buy Apple, like let's say it went down and you say, okay, yeah, I want to buy 100 shares at $150. That's at $150 a share. That's $15,000.
Yep.
Right. So that's a lot of money. And if
Mhm.
it goes down, they can margin call you. I mean, you know, no one can completely predict it, but you still got to have money. In futures, you don't got to have that kind of money. Now, if it fails, you do, but just set it up so you don't fail.
Yep.
Right. You can, the ATM strategy, you can make it so it never goes down. Put your stop loss in. You can do that on TOS, but it's not quite as easy if you're
Yeah.
day trading.
Yep.
So let's go. We'll go back to you again.
Sure thing. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Like I don't know. Like I like futures so much better than equities. So you know,
I started flipping all you guys to futures.
Oh yeah.
I was about to say, yeah, because we started seeing how good you were doing and your plays made so much sense. And I was just like, for me personally, I was like, look at man, his plays make sense. Like, you know, and you know, the win rate is there, and it's like you're only watching one instrument, you know, and SPY for levels and all, but like you're watching one instrument. And like I think
Yep.
with equities, it was kind of easy, even if I was like, yeah, I'm an Apple guy, or for a while I was like, I'm a Boeing guy.
Yep.
Like after a while, I found my attention just started drifting to all this other shit because you're hearing about shit, you're looking at shit.
Yep.
But with futures, you're just looking at futures, and I think that's beautiful.
But the biggest thing that I took away was when Brandon introduced it, was he was like, you're not making a penny per penny, you know, for every tick. And futures, it moves by quarters, so every tick is $1.25 if you're trading micros. If you're trading the mini, it's $12.50. It's like, doesn't it make sense to spend, you know, $50 for a micro to be able to make $1.25?
Yeah.
Yeah, commissions is $1.22, so you're gonna shoot for more than $1.25. But instead of buying Apple at $180, you know, and with futures, you just need $50 per contract. It's like,
Yeah.
and not only that, you're making $1.25 every tick, where in Apple it's 180 and it's only going up pennies. You know, for
Yes.
one day it might go up 50 cents or
Yeah,
$1.
Yeah.
And you only have one share and you only made $1, even though it went up 100 ticks up. But in futures, if it goes 100 ticks up, you made like close to $300 or more.
Yep.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, we like it. We like it. So this slide right here, it's got two trades on it. One of them is a red. The first one, got my red trade there, and then got my green trade here. And I'll go over the red one first. I actually really wish that I had written down what I was thinking in this trade, because looking at it, it makes no sense. So like first arrow is my entry, second arrow is my exit. But you know, having given those last two recaps that I just shared, this one looks nothing like it. When you look at the red trade, it looks nothing like what I was looking for, what I was doing.
Well, there's
And
no pullback low at all.
yeah, there's right. Yeah, there's no pullback low. It's like I don't know what it was. Oh, you know what it was? I know what it was. And it doesn't even make sense that this is what it was. But this was, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. So this is, and I'm not beating myself up here. I'm just like, I'm baffled. So like this blue saw line right here is the 10 SMA daily. And like, And I was like, oh shit. I think my entry, I must have been like, oh shit, it's gonna break above, it's gonna break above. But looking at the price action, it looks a hell of a lot like more it's just gonna go up and retest and come down some more.
Mhm.
I'd like to know what SPY was doing. And it's interesting too, because like I do find that I am having moments of nervousness. And I think the bear market is like it does cause me to doubt my setup sometimes. So I do get some FOMO. And you know, I was going to have like a pretty good streak to where my psychology was a lot more immune to that. But Semper, you recommended that dog that book, The Hour Between the Dog and Wolf, and it talks about how different parts of your brain trigger the fight or flight.
Yep.
And so I looked up some exercises and recommendations online about how to regulate your amygdala, which is that center of the brain. Because this right here, this short, this loss, right? This is supposed to be a long step, but this loss, it represents a psychological mistake. You know what it was? I see what the so-called technicals were. So I saw that RSI made sort of a double bottom here and like was maybe making a higher low. So I thought that maybe it was holding the 10, like the 10, this right here, my 10 SMA intra. So I think, and I was doing FOMO here because like this isn't like, look at these moving averages, like nothing looks ready. But when I saw it mount the 10, and I was like, yeah, now it's gonna push through the 10 SMA daily. Like, okay, got the intra 10, now I got the daily 10. It's gonna go. That was straight up nervousness. So like it's not something I feel shitty about, but it's like, that the psychological stuff is like, I still contend with it. And I guess, it's always going to be there in some representation or others.
Mhm.
Hopefully in the future, just like a little small nag that, you can just easily discount. But yeah, I won't ramble on that anymore, but that is like a trade that doesn't make sense and didn't work out and
What
doesn't
what
follow my system.
what's that? What is it? Greenish, yellowish line that it tagged?
Oh, that's the 21 EMA.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one here.
Mhm. And then the white line is your Bollinger Band
Yeah,
center line.
yeah, Bollinger center line.
Yeah, just keep that in mind that sometimes when it goes down out of its mean, it's gonna
Mhm.
go revert to the mean of the Bollinger Band.
Yeah.
It was pointed down. It wasn't flattening out. See how it's flat over here? See how it's flat over here
Mm-hmm.
where you got in?
Yeah,
Over
exactly.
here, it's whoosh, down.
And can you say that again? What you said about reverting to the mean of the Bollinger Band?
Yeah. So when it comes back and almost touches these outside,
Yeah.
look at it goes to the mean. It
Oh
touched over
shit.
here,
Yes.
goes to the mean. Just like
Right.
it almost touches over here. Look at where does it go? To the mean.
Oh, that's badass. Okay.
So when it's near these outside bands, it's just like the standard dev. It's gonna go to the mean.
Yeah.
Mm.
Right, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. So like, and in this, it was like a 3-point stop, which is that's really my max stop. So I'm glad that at least I didn't go beyond my max stop, but still it is the max stop. So it's like it was too big a loss for 2-0 of a non-setup, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yep.
Um,
Yeah, I would say wait for a defined pullback high. I mean
yeah.
pullback low. Like maybe this candle would have been your pullback low, but then look, it just stayed there and then it broke.
Yeah.
And if you're using the 10 SMA, you would have said, "Oh, I want this pullback high to be above it and be holding that 10 SMA."
Yeah.
Which did right here, kinda.
But
But
then
then
again,
once it broke right here, you're like, yeah.
yeah. But also check it out is the so sure it held the 10 SMA right there, boom. But then the 50 SMA, which is up there, is like kind of too high.
Yep. Just like we went earlier with easy, it's a lot further away.
Yeah.
And over here on the second one, it's a little bit closer, but it's telling you that it's gonna probably tag the 50 and then reject down. to maybe confirm the 10 and then go back up.
Oh, and how did you figure that?
Because it's closer to the 50. I mean, yeah, because this is a 50, right? Or is it?
Yeah. Oh, because the 100's closer to the 50.
No, it's price action's closer to
Oh,
the
probably
50.
then close to 50. Yeah. And so like right here, since it's closer to the 50 here, it'll need a pullback to like the 10 and then to go
Mhm.
back up.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool.
And that's why you wait for the pullback low, like was right here, but then you never got an entry because this candle broke down.
Yeah, which is good. And I wouldn't have taken that.
Yeah, you wouldn't have taken it.
Yeah. Which was like, actually the me here wouldn't have taken that, but the me back here might have taken it.
Yeah, probably.
There were two me's trading that day, I suppose. But the winning trade is a lot more substantial and uh definitely not picture perfect my setup, but definitely like, maybe a B or C grade. And tiny ass fib, but it was there. First red pullback, drew the fib. Um, and look for stuff to set up. So I got my fib from there to there. I like that there was an RSI double bottom in overcool down here and came up to create what was looking like a nice higher low scoop with MACD crossing. I thought that all looked pretty legit. And to tell you the truth, this candle right here is a nice little gray doji for a low candle.
Mhm.
Since this one opened at the same spot, I could have gotten it here.
Yep.
Like that. But instead I waited for the whatever, like, that one. So that could have been, I think that could be an improvement to have done this one, clears that doji low
Mhm.
candle. And then I took it all off here, same deal. There's my target, and it's a couple ticks shy. And that was that. And it's funny because looking backwards in price action, I can see that it didn't
What is
get
it light? What is that light blue dashed?
this right here, that is the daily 9 EMA.
Okay.
And I'm glad you pointed that out because that's strong resistance. And looking back over here where this pink box is, that's kind of where the neighborhood that it rejected there
Yeah.
came in. And those unfilled orders, thanks
Good
for the
call,
lesson,
bro.
Semper.
Because it went into the toilet after that, bro. So you made an awesome call.
Yeah, that worked out. And again, it was like I didn't really anticipate the end of that move per se. It was just like a reasonable target, sold a little, just a tad underneath, But actually in the future though, going forward rather, I'll have these other little hints. I mean, matter of fact, I'm sure I noticed the 9 daily at that point as well as the 50. So maybe I was like, all right, this could be the top of the move. Again, I should go back to writing down what my thoughts were during this stuff because that really pays to just like make a sentence or two about your psychological state and your decision making state. Because even if you know it at the time, you want to be able to like 1 week, 2 weeks, a year later look back and see what your thoughts were.
Yeah, I've been writing mine down, and I guess it's probably better to have them, on some kind of computer to track them. But it's a lot easier for me just as I'm doing it. I just write a scribble note on the actual sale, or you go back afterwards, right?
Yeah,
And
for
check.
sure.
Why did you say why did I sell here? Why did I buy here? That kind of thing.
Yep.
Trying to develop a system myself. So yeah.
Yeah. I actually made this little sheet. It's like a questionnaire to do like right after the trade. And it's similar to it's an adaptation of Semper's like he made sort of a question list of things to do after a trade to review the trade. And I just did a shorter one that I could do right in the moment. And just like, it's kind of like, what was I thinking? How is my body feeling? Because I get all kinds of stress reactions as, breath gets shallow, my arms stiffen up. all kinds of stuff. And so I write that stuff down too, just to sort of get everything out of my head, out of my body, and on paper. And it's just like a really quick little write up, like 3 or 4 sentences. But yeah, hell yeah. So I was happy with this trade, and
Awesome.
you know, pretty good. Fairly similar to the other ones, but I'd say like maybe a B minus. So that's all good. Semper, how are we doing for time? Do we want to like press on or what? You're
Well,
mentioning.
we could cut it here and then continue chit chatting.
Oh, all right. That sounds good. Yeah. Let's see here. I'm glad that I got like a little bit of a red to share with the group, you know.
Yeah, awesome. Those are the ones we learned from the most.
Yeah, absolutely. Wait, I want to delete this last.